Hello, everyone. Welcome to part 3 of Neva's 24-hour sprints. I'm Katie. I'm going to be your pilot for this little segment. We have 4 hours of hanging out. Not going to lie to you guys, I've been up for a while. I've also started to feel sick, so we're going to wing it. We're going to keep it as high energy as possible. I didn't put what I'm going to be reading or doing because let me be so honest with you guys, because this is a safe space here. I'm going to do whatever. There will be reading, there will be editing, there will be YouTube sprints. Whatever feels right is where I'm going to go. I hope you do the same. If you need to nap, take a nap. I won't be offended. We're in the late night stretch here. So do what you got to do to take care of yourself. And remember that the goal is to have fun. So if you're like a zombie, you probably should get some sleep. Just a thought, But the goal for me is I really do want to keep us on a pretty good schedule of making sure we're reading. So I will do my best to get through the comments, and then I'll have us do our sprints, I think. I think that'll be a good fit, but it's going to go by fast. I know it. So currently, I am reading a book called Mother Faker, which sounds so weird to say out loud. It's essentially about this single mom, and imagine like Full House. You know how like Danny lived with like his two best friends. In this book, the main character, she lives with her two best friends, and they just have like a herd of children. And it's a rom-com. It's a fun time. So I picked that book specifically because I knew it wouldn't need a lot of like brain power. So it was perfect. So Sarah was here. She said, I really hope that I could stay up for this, but it was a really long week and this gal is tired. I hope you all have great sprints. Totally fine. I know, Sarah, you're not here, but in case you watch back, totally understand. I will see you, I'm sure, sometime this weekend. Hello, Christina. How are you doing? Hi, Coda. I miss you. I feel like I haven't seen you in a little bit. Hello. Hi, I'll be up a bit reading Blood over Brighthaven. I need to figure out what this is. By Emil, is it Wang? And it says it is a dark fantasy, a good fit for those seeking a story that explores the pursuit of truth, the consequences of power, and the resilience of hope in the face of darkness. Okay. Like the covers give me like a darker shade of Magic vibes, like they're old covers, if that makes sense. Hello. Hello to everyone. Will I be banished? No, I don't have. Oh, no. We would be banished if I had no desire to read Icebreaker. I was not Team Icebreaker. I was not. But I also don't care if you do like it. Now, I don't understand it. If you liked it, I don't get it. I can't relate. But I don't shame people. There's only one book that if people like it, I side-eye them. One book in all the books I've ever read, which seems like such a weird blanket statement to make, but there's one book that just gives me major ick. Oh. Hello, Neva.
Hello.
I was just talking about how there's only one book, like in the span of books, that gives me like major ick if people read it. I'm not going to say what it is publicly, but I'll put it in the private chat for you to know. But so we were talking about how it doesn't matter to me if you like Icebreaker or you don't. I don't care.
Oh no, the only people that this matters for are the 4 original besties. Everyone else is fine. Like if you don't like it, cool. If you do like it, cool. If you never read it, also cool.
But I've been having a fun time keeping up with it. I'm not going to lie. It has been such great entertainment, but it does feel weird because I'm like, man, I just became like not part of the besties, but like involved with the besties. And now they're breaking up. It's like, wow, the same thing happened with like NSYNC and Backstreet Boys and One Direction. And now you guys are breaking up. And I'm just like,
Right. And right
everything
before girl bands too. Unbelievable.
you can't keep a good thing forever, but it's the end of an era. So, but we'll see what happens. Maybe there'll be a reunion. I have faith, there'll be a book that brings you guys back together. I don't know what it is yet, but yeah. Christina said, just got bounced in from Nicole's and finished all my stuff, so no idea what I'm doing. That's the vibe. I also don't know what I'm doing. I should have been reading all day today, but one of my littles got me sick. Like I knew she was sick the last couple days, and I was feeling fine. And then like in the middle of today, I told my husband, I was like, I think I'm getting sick. And now here I be. But you know, that's the risk you take with children. They're little petri dishes, to be honest.
Kids are gross. I'm sorry. Kids are so gross.
They sure
Like,
are. But you know what? They're cute. So, you know. Hello, Tina. And then for everybody who doesn't know, Tina will be next in our sprints. I also have the playlist in my description if anybody wants to follow along there. Jamie said, I feel like I'm back in school, passing from class that just let up. That's a funny way to think of it, actually. And waiting in the next classroom for the teacher to arrive and the bell to ring, that passing period is over. I always wanted to be a teacher. So hello, class is in session. I don't know what you're going to learn, but hopefully something valuable. Hello, Nikki. What are you reading right now, Nikki? I feel like I haven't talked to you in so long. Sharing some doing whatever vibes with the like. Appreciate it, Christina. Good morning. It's 5 a.m. I'm still awake. I will be here as long as my eyeballs stay open. Valid. We appreciate you being here. What are you reading right now, Kay? Or maybe you're not reading. What are you doing? Sorry you're not feeling well. Glad you're here. Listen, you know, it's okay. I think as women, like obviously Neva, you're a mom, but like as somebody who works with child who is a woman, being sick is just like not an option to just like shut down. Like we're just used to functioning. So it's like I'm sick, but like sitting here and reading and like being with you guys is not hard.
we're
I
just
still go to
like,
work sometimes. So
that's what I'm saying. I'm like, oh yeah, I don't feel. I mean, that's like last week. I did something to my back. Like I could barely.
yeah.
I was not walking straight. Like I did a story where I was laying, like I was laying in the bed, like laying down. There's an update for Brooklyn's Haunting Adeline vlog where I'm literally laying back like this on my pillows and like I'm laying down. Like it's not flattering, but I was like, I still have things to do. I got up, I had to go to work still. And I was like, listen, I'm in visible pain, but like I'm going to come work my shifts, like whatever. So like, yeah, I just feel like as women, we're just like, yeah, we're good, even though we're not good. You know what I mean? So we just do it anyway.
Our pain tolerance is just different. It's like it takes a lot for me to be like down and out. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
So a little bit of cold, a little bit of sickness ain't nothing. We're just getting started. Now we'll see how I am in a couple days. Probably fine. Yeah, we got to keep a high energy. I need it. Yeah, we got you, Tina. Like the chaos will be here. That is my brand. So don't you worry about it. Hoping for 40 more pages of Emily Wilde, then bed. We can do that. I know we'll hop into a sprint soon, especially because things are winding down. There's not going to be so many people in the chat. Hello, Lexi. I'm going to attempt to read Among the Brave by Margaret Peterson Haddix. I will sure leave you up if I fall asleep, though. Oh, thanks, Lexi. I want to check real quick what this book is about. Among the Brave. Here it is. Sci-fi, YA sci-fi. Very nice. There's always so much like variety in what everybody's reading, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Are we finishing? Okay, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. Classic. Hi, I'm hanging out until I fall asleep. Probably won't make it long. Totally fine. Everybody needs to sleep so they can do the second half. You know what I mean? I just got home from work, so these are great for me to wind down. I'm reading Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. Very nice. My favorite book is The Goblet of Fire. So,
I don't know if I
hello,
even have a
Thomas.
favorite one. Maybe Goblet of
Really?
Fire.
The competition to me is just so good in those books. Like, I
Yeah,
just love it.
maybe, but also maybe book 7. And hear me out. Hear me out. Because I definitely get side-eye when I say this, but I have a reason. And it's really because we have to see the core 3. We have to see them work together. And I understand that Harry and Ron were not nice to Hermione in like especially like in the first book. They were terrible people. Like the movies, like if you've only seen the movies tone down how mean they are to her so much. Okay, so I get it. But if it was not for each of their 3 assets, in Deathly Hallows, they would not have survived. I'm just saying. You know? So I just feel like we really see their friendship come together.
It is, you're not wrong. And I also think it is one of the harder hitting books because obviously a lot of awful things happen in that book, war, whatnot. But I'm not voting in terms of like growth and pain. I'm voting in terms of fun. So I wouldn't necessarily say I had fun reading that book. So
In terms of fun, I would definitely say Goblet of Fire.
yeah. So, but
Because
I mean, that's fair.
Because we get like the competition, and then we get like Hermione, standing up for what she believes in. It's a fun time, Yeah, I definitely agree for a fun
Yeah, and then
time.
you've got the ball, and you finally have Ron being like, "Oh, Hermione's a girl. I thought I knew, but I didn't know until I saw her in a dress." And I'm like, "Bro, men are
Come
funny.
on.
Like, I never knew you could look like that until you put on a dress." Okay, all right, but yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I
I've been
agree with
listening.
you.
Yeah,
As far as like a hard hitting, like wow, there's so much growth in these characters, I would say 7. But 7 was not a good time. Like it was not. I think that book came out when I was 16. I was either 16 or 17. And I remember I was sitting at my sister's grandparents' house, and they had a copy of it. And I had started it, but I hadn't gotten to finish it. And so her grandma was like, "You can read our copy. Like, you're going to be here all summer anyway." I read it in 2 days. Like, and it's not like a small book. I read it in 2 days. And she has like this sunroom, so you can sit out like on like a couch, and you have like the sun, beaming on you. And I mean, the sun was nice, but I was broken. Like I was
yeah.
crying. She was like, she had to bring me a tissue box, and she was like, "I should have warned you." And I was like, "How would you have warned me?" Like, what would you said?
Oh gosh. Yeah, but now I think, that built the foundation. Like a lot of the things in our childhood built the foundation for like now when we read a book that actually causes us emotional distress, it's like that was a good book. Books that make us feel something,
It
they
like
stay with you.
it like re Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows rewired all of our brain chemistry. If you grew up reading the Harry Potter series, that series just rewired your brain chemistry. And so now we're like, "Hey friend, read this book, it destroyed me." And then our friend is like, "Oh, love to hear it."
I literally love that where I'm always like, even a couple days ago, I commented on an author's post where I was like, oh, so this book is going to emotionally destroy me. Can't wait. And I genuinely mean that. Like, it's like, if you're going to hurt me, like, I want to feel things. I think that's why most of us consume things is like, we want it to give us an emotional reaction. So when I say a book emotionally devastated me, that's me saying, this is going to make you feel all the things you need to read this. Like, it
Yeah,
brings life into you, which is a weird way to say things, but like,
it is what it is.
yeah.
It's
So, okay. So, Jamie said I've been listening to a short story collection, 11 by Patricia Highsmith. It's really good so far. I love that. I don't read enough short stories to be completely honest. Reading Curse of the Wolf King and Made Some Coffee. I need to look this up only because I hear Wolf King and I'm tempted. I'm not gonna lie. Ooh, and I like this cover, fantasy romance. I'm just gonna add as one to read for now, and I'll go back. Yay, late night sprints. I'll be here. I love to have you here, Nikki. Hello, Katie. Just made another mistake. Oh no, in your blanket. I'm putting it down for the night and trying to finish my book. Only 50 pages left of Soul to Keep at 90%. I think I actually just downloaded this book, Jean. I think so. If it's the one I'm thinking of, Soul to Keep. Yes. Is it by Opal Rain? I did download this on Kindle and I'm hoping to read it this weekend. So I hope you've been loving it. Let me know. Otherwise, prepare me. Where should I be? Hey there, Katie. Sorry to hear you're not feeling well. Feel better soon. Thank you so much. Trust me, it'll probably go away. Like, you know what I mean? Where I'll just be like, oh, I'm better. That's just how it works. You just work through it and you're good to go.
That was like me with my back. I was like, "Yeah, I'm in a lot of pain, but I'll be fine. I'll be good." And then like by Wednesday, I was fine.
I mean, you birthed a child. After that, like,
That's
can
what I'm saying.
anything
I mean,
compare?
but I think that's also the thing is like I mean I did say like I don't think I've been in this much pain since giving birth. Okay, but I've given birth now 4 times, and only one of those times was medicated.
Oh gosh.
And
Oh
it's
gosh.
and the other 3, well, 2 of them, the younger 2, I didn't want to be medicated. Like, I literally was like, I don't, because I had been medicated for my first child. My second child, by the time we got to the hospital, which was 30 minutes away because I'm from a small town, okay, it's fine.
Mhm.
It was too late. Like, they were like, we don't have time. Like, you're just gonna have to
Yep.
get him out. So when it came to my third and my fourth child, which Ari's my fourth child, for anyone who doesn't know, when it came to the younger 2, I was like, who needs medication? But also, I was up and walking within 12 hours of like giving birth. Like, they came out, I slept for a few hours, and then I was like up, like walking around. And that didn't happen with my first kid. Like, my first child, I remember like my legs were numb for like 12 hours. So they had to, like, I mean, they'd already put a catheter in, but I had to keep using that. Then they were able to remove it, but then like you don't have any, because you've been numbed, there's no bladder control. So I ended up just like peeing all over the floor, like not on purpose.
Right. No. I
And
mean,
then I felt
listen.
so bad that I tried to get down on the floor and clean it up. And the
No.
nurse came in and she was like, "What are you doing?" And I was like, "You can't." And she's like, "Trust me, I've cleaned up worse. It's fine. Like, let's get you to the bathroom and then we'll get you in bed." So like, it was just such an awful experience of having an epidural that I was like, I'm never doing this again.
Well,
Not
yeah,
both,
and my friend,
but
like
epidural.
her epidural like messed up, like, like where if you're not careful with it, you won't be completely numb. And so she was
Yes,
like,
you'll feel everything.
she's like, something's wrong. So like it just makes me so nervous. Like medicine and things like that are so tricky. And like giving birth is not
I've
easy.
I've always said, now I've also said that I don't plan on having any more children because I had kind of made a pact with myself that if I didn't have another kid by the time Ari was 5, it wasn't happening. Mostly because I'm 32 now and I don't really want to be like 54 having children. Like, I don't want to do it. But if I was to ever have another kid, I would make it possible. Like, I would figure out how to make it possible to have like a midwife and just do like a home birth. Like, I'm really not trying to mess. Like, hospitals are great and like they're nice and everything, but like my body's naturally going to do what it does anyway. Or I'm going to go to like a birthing center. I really do not want to have any other birth like in a hospital, which, like, if that's what you want to do, that's cool. I had 4 in a hospital and I had varying experiences with all of them. And I'm just like, no thanks. But yeah, so my pain tolerance is a bit high. You know what I'm saying? I mean, my back
It
hurt,
sure
like, for
is.
sure. But like, I wasn't like, I mean, I was like, yeah, this is a lot of pain. Like, it reminds me of childbirth. But I think kidney stones for me was worse than childbirth, and I had kidney stones with my first pregnancy.
Mm,
So like, if it's not a kidney stone type of pain, I'll make it. I'll be fine.
that's fair. I mean, listen, the human body is a weird thing, but props to you, 4 kids. That's amazing. That is something. I'm not gonna lie to you. So Kay said, not sure what to read. Want to read Jade City 2, but maybe too hardcore before Crescent City 3. Might find a KU book. Thanks for solving my. You're so welcome, Kay. Yeah, Kay messaged me earlier today freaking out about Crescent City 3, the Kindle edition. It's not delayed, guys. There's just an error with Amazon. But also to spill the tea on Jade City, guys, I told Danny already I DNF'd it because it was taking me too long and I wasn't picking it up. So I put it down for now. Will I maybe go back to it? I might, but not right now. It ain't happening. Sorry.
It's just a pause for now.
I might pick it up, but I'm really in the like spirit this year of if I don't want to pick it up, then I won't. Like I've DNF 6 books this year, but I've also read 16 because I'm prioritizing reading books that I want to pick up and that I'm enjoying reading, and I'm not getting in a slump because I'm forcing myself to read something I don't want to. So
Yeah.
when we were leaving Nicole Springs, they were explaining, yeah, I am pretty much Switzerland. Like I believe for the most part that like people can like books that they like and dislike books that like for the most part I'm very neutral about it. There's only a few books that make me heated. So, hello Nicole. My side-eye book is Credence by Penelope Douglas. That's fair. That's fair. I've read worse by Penelope Douglas. I'll tell you that. I will tell you that. Trust me. It's okay. It's all right. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I appreciate you. Thank you very much, Jean. Especially everybody, go and like and subscribe to Neva's channel as well, you guys, and consider joining her Patreon. So glad you're here tonight. Is it mediation one-on-one? Can I read?
Meditation?
I don't know what I'm talking about.
I think meditation. One-on-one.
Well, if you want to meditate here or, whatever, absolutely. I don't know if that's a good vibe here, but we'll try. Hygiene, a reunion readathon. Absolutely. I don't know about readathon because we're very competitive in our readathons, unless it's like a readathon where we collab together. You never know what could happen. I see a 2024 comeback. I see it. Hello, Amal. I like Credence and I am okay. And you know what, Jean? That's okay too. I read it. So, and I didn't dislike it. I definitely questioned myself a little bit, but because listen, you might as well, have you read Credence before?
Listen, this is one of those books that I'm like, I read Birthday Girl, and I have Punk 57, which I'll be reading with my friend Cassie in February. Credence is a book that I don't know if I want to delve into this, and here's why. Okay, I have like a legitimate reason. The whole thought that, she doesn't, at least from what I've been explained, she doesn't actually like know them, but she knows that like she's grown up her whole life knowing that they're like her uncle and her cousin. And something about that just skews me out. Now, it's probably because like I have a lot of like step family, right? Mm-hmm. But like in my family, we don't really do step family. Do you know what I mean? So like my aunt, like I have an aunt that's technically a step aunt. She has kids from a previous marriage. She's been my aunt now for like, I don't know, 25 years or something ridiculous. So like she's just my aunt and they're just my cousins, So like the whole concept of the pseudo incestuous thing going on, it just I just don't know.
Fair. What I will say, based on my memory, I read this book several years ago, so I could be incorrect. Jean, correct me if I'm wrong. I don't believe she really knows these people like at all. Like, I don't feel like she's really even met them or like spent time with them. She knows, like, like how somebody's talked about it, like, oh yeah, like my great uncle Dan who lives in, I don't know, that place. So like, I feel like she's heard of them, but I don't feel like she ever knew them or had a relation. Not that I'm justifying any of the books. I'm not here to like say what is too far and what isn't, but I've read way more interesting things than that. So am I going to say that it's a little unhinged? Sure. It's not worse than Haunting Adeline, in my opinion. So, I mean, if you're going down that alley.
At this point, I'm just like, is it worse than The Sinner, which I read at the end of 2024? And I just feel this is not to be confused with Sinner. Okay?
By Sierra Simone. Not the same.
It's not the same book. Because here's the thing. I don't know, because I haven't gotten to any smut really at all in Haunting Adeline. But there is apparently a
yes
play scene, which is also in The Sinner, but it happens much faster in The Sinner, and it happens multiple times, which like there's a justification for why it happens in The Sinner, and it's literally because he's not able to have sex until he's a senior in college because of this like secret society that they're part of. Like it's a rule. Like they'll get in trouble if they do. So he uses that instead.
They make things that are a little bit more geared towards those things.
And the thing is, the girl has the shit in her drawer. Like, you could have just gone to her drawer and got her own stuff out that's meant. I mean, whatever.
Yeah, whatever. We're not here to shame anyone. You do what you want to do. We're gonna.
We love a red flag in a book. You know what I'm saying?
But we're gonna question it just a smidge, just a sliver.
I think so. Here's the thing. I was talking to Nicole about this the other day, and I tend to be a bit more analytical with books when I have to read them for a vlog. And by this, I mean, if it's a recommendation book, so like this is Haunting Adeline is Brooklyn's pick for 12 Recs from 12 Besties, which is going to be a series on my channel. I'm glad that he knows that he's a psychopath. Like, I'm
So
glad,
self-aware. We love it.
I'm glad about the self-awareness, but he's like self-aware that he's a psychopath, but also is like, but I'm a good guy because I
Yeah.
help victims of trafficking, but also a psychopath because I saw this girl through a window at a bookstore and decided to stalk her.
Yeah.
And also, I'm at a certain part, because you've read this, right?
I have read to a certain extent, but I do know everything that happens in both books.
Okay, so
So,
I'm going to send you a voice message about this because I'm
okay.
at a certain part, which if I say it out loud, it'll be a
Right.
spoiler.
Sure.
Because this girl has the whole book, we're wondering how he's getting into her house,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because of the system, whatever. I've now put together how he's doing it. But is everyone just stupid? Like, I just feel like everyone's stupid.
Blissfully ignorant, whatever you want to call it, it's okay. But basically, what we're going to circle back to, Jean, is it's okay to like Credence.
You can
I
like
don't think
whatever
there's
you want.
anything. Exactly.
I liked The Sinner, and I'm really questioning myself with that.
And what I will say is never let anybody, literally, just because we're people on the internet and we talk books and we have a platform, don't ever let anybody shame you for what you read. Because like that's one of the reasons I kept like my reading a secret for so long, is because I was like, what if people judge me for reading this? And it's like, okay, they don't have to read it.
People definitely judge me for what I read. And do I give a crap?
No.
Yeah, I
Makes you
literally will
happy.
be like, the guys at work will be like, I can't believe you would read this. And I'm like, did I ask you to read it?
No. People get so butthurt over the things that people enjoy. And it's like, well, then you be miserable. I'm going to be happy in my lane. Thank you. Bye. I agree, Neva. Kids are gross. They are. They, having done this for several years, there's nothing that really grosses me out anymore.
I mean, me either. I just tell people, like, children are gross. Like, I just need you to know. Like, at this point, like, Ari does a lot of things that I'm like, if I wasn't a parent, this would be disgusting. Like, if I saw a grown person do some of the things Ari does, absolutely not. But also, I tell people, like, kids are they're just gross. It is what it is.
Well, and they're learning. Sadly, it takes time for them to learn, like, hey, that's not what we do. Is Neva planning to gate crash the February event for the besties and sing a revenge song? What would you sing?
Neva did not think to do this. What would I say?
Yeah, we need to, what's suggestions, guys? Let's vote. What should she
give
sing?
Give me some, like, a revenge song suggestions, and I would do it. I didn't even think about this.
But now we are. Amal, I love this for you. I love Ignite by Melanie Harlow, just so you know. Single dad, firefighter. Yes, amazing. Twin daughters, love them. When my niece was 2, she managed to infect a whole Christmas dinner party of 13 people, minus my mom, and aunt sick with very contagious stomach flu. I tell you, they just have a way. Like, and it continues to cycle through. If you have more children, it just continues. One person will get sick, everybody gets sick, they get better, and then it continues to cycle. I promise you that. I've been having family stuff going on. Okay, my father-in-law is feeling better today. That's great news, Nikki. Yeah, message me. Oh yeah, I worked 9-10-hour days this week with a migraine 3 out of 5 days this week. And I work on a computer the entire time and very light sensitive during a migraine. Absolutely. Oh gosh, Lexi, I'm glad it's the weekend for you. I haven't read in a week, looking for a rom-com. Okay, we're definitely going to chat about this. I'm really close to finishing my current charity Granny Square blanket, so I ought to be done with it by the end of our first sprint, which I promise you we are getting into in the next 10 minutes, guys, whether we get through the comments or not. Harry Potter Order of Phoenix is my favorite book, our favorite movie, and the favorite book is Deathly Hallows. Okay, so I always get it confused because it's the Sorcerer's Stone, Chamber of Secrets, Prisoner of Azkaban, Goblet of Fire, and then it is
Order of the Phoenix.
Is it? Okay, and is that the one where the evil pink lady comes in? What's her stupid name?
Yes, Dolores Umbridge.
Oh my gosh, when does it ever end?
Because and then it's Half-Blood Prince.
Mm-hmm.
Which is when Harry has the potions book. We meet Slughorn and Half-Blood Prince.
Yeah. Okie doke. Yes. Listen, I can't like that movie because honestly, like, I'm happy for you, but it pains me so much to see that woman on screen. Like, every time I just see
Here's
her
the
or think of
thing.
her,
What's crazy is I've seen her in like that actress in other
so
movies
many
where
things.
she's like the good guy.
Ugh, gross. She can never. She can never. Can't.
Like and I mean like prior to seeing Harry Potter. So it fucked me up to see her. Because I think I'm gonna look. I know that the woman that plays Molly Weasley is in Mamma Mia.
Hmm. Oh, is she? Oh, is she?
She
Interesting. Is she one of the
plays
friends?
she plays one of the friends of Meryl Streep's
Yeah.
character.
Oh, cute. I think it's because she's like blonde in that movie or something. She's got different
She
hair. I remember.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I mean she looks different. Like they don't like they dress her much I don't want to say frumpier, but you know, Molly Weasley has like a certain aesthetic about her. You know what I mean? Like she definitely takes
Mhm.
care of her kids more than she takes care of herself. Like this. You know what I mean?
As
But
mothers do.
she's not wearing like name brand clothing in Harry Potter. Um but I remember her being in like other things. Emilda, yeah, I mean now whenever I see her I'm just like, Dolores, is that you? But she was in Nanny McPhee. And
Mm,
I saw Nanny McPhee, I'm pretty sure before I saw Harry Potter. Like before I saw her in Harry Potter. But she was in Nanny
sure.
McPhee. She was in Downton Abbey. Yeah, because Nanny McPhee came out in '05 and she was in Harry Potter in '07. And it says she was in Maleficent, but I don't remember her in that.
To be
Oh,
fair.
she played one of the fairies.
Oh, cute. That's cute.
Yeah, so like we've definitely seen her like in other things, but also Umbridge has like a specific aesthetic. You know what I mean? She looks like a Pepto Bismol puked all over her. So like
When you never forget the face of evil. I'm sorry. She can do whoever she wants to be, but she's evil. And that's all
it's
like,
kind of honestly her as an actress. It's like the I can't remember his name because I'm terrible with actors' names, but it's like the guy that plays Mark in Grey's Anatomy. Like I'll always see him as
oh,
Mark
yeah, that guy.
in Grey's Anatomy, but he's in Euphoria as like a
Yeah.
creepy dude, and I'm like, Mark, what have they done to you?
You've made some bad choices. Yeah, yeah. I agree. I totally understand.
There's just certain I think there's just certain people that we look at, like Rupert Grint, like I'll always see him as Hagrid.
Except for Rupert Grint is
Not Rupert
Ron.
Grint.
But yeah, I get what you mean.
But yeah, but you see what I'm
I
saying?
do.
And
Yes.
also
I
Rupert Grint
mean,
played Ron, which okay, but you know what I'm saying.
I
That's
do.
not his name. That's just who I thought of in my brain when I thought Harry Potter.
It's okay. I know what you mean though. Like there are
But
just
you know who
certain
I'm talking
people,
about.
yeah, who I
The
yeah,
dude that plays Hagrid, I will
I
always see
can't
him
think
as
of his
Hagrid.
name,
Even
but
though
yeah.
even though clearly like no other movie is he a 10-foot giant. You know what I'm saying? Like
Mhm.
it's just his face, you
It's
know?
distinguishable, absolutely, and, like and sometimes people play these roles that impact us in such a way that it's even if we see them in something else and we can believe that that is, the character that they are, we're always going to think of the original thing that just sparks that nostalgia for us, so I respect that, actors wanna do other things, but based on what I love you from, that's what I'm gonna immediately
Right.
see. Sorry.
Also, Kay said at the bottom, Robbie Coltrane, thank you.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm bad at
Thank
names
you.
sometimes, so
I'm terrible with actors' names, like I said. But like, yeah, like Robbie Coltrane, I mean, he's gone now, but like
yes.
I could watch him in a different movie. But it's the same with Alan Rickman.
Mm,
I'll always
mhm,
see him as Severus Snape. So like obviously I've watched other Alan Rickman movies. Like I watched him when he did the creepy dude in Sweeney Todd. You mean?
mhm.
Which just kind of felt like a Harry Potter movie, but that's fine. You mean half the cast is
You
Harry Potter.
know.
But also like the dude that plays Wormtail, I'll always see him as Wormtail. And I've seen him in Sweeney Todd and I've seen him in Enchanted. And I'm like, Wormtail, is that you? Like
He's like, "I'm just trying to get a different identity. I don't wanna be the rat forever." "Sorry, bro. You are who you are."
Like, they're all great actors. They're just gonna live rent free as like one person my entire life. It's fine.
Yep, that's okay. I may not make it very long. I may watch Bones. I support this decision. Thank you both for the sprints, and I will leave you on the TV for watch time. And my cat, she loves sprints too. She sits there and watches. Honestly, I love seeing the cats like interact with sprints. It's so cute. I'm here for it. First time I ever finally got the playlist to work on my TV, and I swear to God, I've been watching 24-hour sprints for like a year. Well, I'm glad it worked. That's
I'm glad it
exciting.
worked.
Book 3 is my favorite, but the 4th movie will always be my favorite as a kid. Yes, I love to see it. I read them as a fully functioning parent of 2, but they impacted me as an older reader. That's okay. Like, I'm always so curious when people read these books and they're older to see how it feels. So I read them when I was younger. Thank you, Christina. I appreciate that. For my cohort, it was Bridge to Terabithia. Number of Stars and Old Yeller. That sort of set us up as emotional reading. Suicide, Holocaust, and A Dying Dog. Absolutely. Old Yeller traumatized me. Bridge to Terabithia I never had to read, but I did watch the movie. And Sadness for sure. Katie, it is a slow burn at certain points. It does feel like it could be 70 pages less. I'm invested. And that's a soul to keep, I believe. I'm excited. Will I get to reading and picking it up? I sure hope so. One of my mom's epidurals was really messed up, and when she got home, she got a spinal headache and couldn't stand up. Being a woman is crazy, you guys. Womanhood is crazy. I'm yikes. That's what happened to my sister. They wanted her to go to the hospital that was an hour and a half away. Gosh, 20 minutes into the drive, and my sister was like, yeah, that's not happening. Oh my gosh. And they rerouted to a closer hospital, like 40 minutes. And yeah, too late for meds, even antibiotics, because my sister tested positive for hepatitis B, I think. And then my niece is fine and happy now. Oh my gosh. Yeah. And these are the things where it's like, I'm just so glad everything works out, because sometimes even if you plan meticulously, you never, like, birth plans are that. They are just like a suggestion.
They're just a plan.
How it's like how it ends up, because like that's my biggest fear always, like when I was planning out my things, is like I'm a planner, and when things don't go the way I can like I want them to, I freak out. So like mothers, oh, you guys, just I can't. You're
So
amazing.
I'm not gonna lie. So okay, everyone knows that like one of my favorite shows is Gilmore Girls.
Mm-hmm.
But does anyone remember this season? I remember because I just watched it last year. But this season where Christopher is with whatever the hell her name is, and she gives birth to Gigi, right?
Mm-hmm.
That whole like birthing as a mother, I'm so annoyed. Like I remember being annoyed watching it as like a teenager, but like as a mother, where she's like trying to like do work in a hospital room, and she's like, my C-section was scheduled for next week. She wasn't supposed to come for another week, ma'am. That's not how this works.
Mm-hmm.
And then poor Rory just gets left there.
I haven't watched it in a long time, but I want to rewatch it because I want my husband to meet Luke. Yes. Because like, I mean, so when you tagged me in that thing yesterday with Luke and Babette, I died. Because of course my husband has no idea what's going on. And I'm like, you will though. You will. And I just, as somebody who like, I didn't even have a father like Christopher, because like Christopher still tried a lot harder than my birth father ever did. But like,
girl, same.
Yeah, just being able to watch it and see Luke be such a good dad to Rory, it melts something inside of me that I'll never recover from. So now I have an excuse to rewatch it.
So I'm not gonna lie, Luke reminds me of my stepdad. Now, me and my stepdad have like a lot of hard times. Okay. My stepdad never really wanted to be a dad, and then he got with my mom, who already had 2 kids. You know me. He did the best, like legitimately did the best he knew how. My mother did not, but like he did the best he could, you know? So he reminds me of Luke, especially there's like a scene. Listen, if you haven't watched Gilmore Girls at this point, you're not going to. So like, it's fine. There's a scene. I think it's when Rory and Logan get caught at.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Grandparents' like wedding, like their remarriage thing, you know, after their separation, and he screams at Christopher about how like who was there when she had chicken pox.
Mm-hmm.
Something very similar happened. between my stepdad and my birth dad. Now my birth dad won't admit to it. Like he's like that never happened. But like I was there. Like it happened. And that's who he reminds me of. Like it just reminds me of my stepdad. So like we love Luke in this
Oh,
house.
well, I gotta say, I love that you had a stepdad that was like, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
that's wonderful though. Like that's good.
But like my birth dad, I mean I love him. You know what I'm saying? We speak now, but all I'm saying is I don't know how me, an empath, came from two narcissistic birth parents. I don't understand. But it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah. I can't say the same about my birthday. We don't love each other. He's hecka blocked in all capacities known to man. But
That's
that's
fair.
okay. You know, like not everybody wants to be parents, and that does not bother me at all. I would not change a single thing in my past because I think it really helped me become the crazy neurotic reader person I am today. So maybe I'd be like more put together and like a businesswoman or something if I had like a normal childhood. And I don't want that. I'd much rather read. Okay, but we are going to hop into our first sprint. I'm so sorry to everybody who commented. I promise you I'm going to try and get to you. I will pull it together in the next sprint, right? Maybe, hopefully. I pray. So, all right. Let's see. I did make this if there was going to be 3 of us. There's 2 of us. So let's see if I can pull this down real quick. Probably not. You know what? We're just going to leave it. It don't matter. Let me do this, and I will see you all in 60 minutes. I'm like super distracted. Welcome back, everyone, because like I feel like my camera looks super sharp. So like I don't know what's up with that. But anyways, hi Tina. Hello.
Hi.
Welcome. I think this is the first time you've ever been on my channel.
Yes.
But yes, hi, hello.
Hello.
How'd you guys do?
Pretty good.
Are you reading right now? I think I saw you doing like, okay.
I didn't read in this spread. No, I just took a shower.
Okay. Neva, I kind of already know how you did, but go ahead, tell the people.
I'm just stressed. Okay, I'm stressed out. I still have 2.5 hours left of this book. I'm only 54% through it, and I'm stressed. I'm definitely going to be going to Love at First Set after this for like an audiobook experience that's lovey-dovey and not stressful, because this is first of all, I just don't understand. You know what I mean? First of all, at some point, like, Brock is not going to be with Millie anymore. Like, I just feel it. Like, how, like, but here's the thing. He's so stupid that he just believes anything she says. You know? Like, he gets angry and then she says something and he's like, oh, it's fine. You know? It's weird.
Yeah.
And we've had another, twist in this book. At this point, I've just come to the conclusion that everyone in this book is a psychopath except Brock, which that could change at any moment. So I'm not really holding out hope that he's not also a psychopath. You know what I mean?
I mean, I can't comment because I do know the answer, but
and I know nothing about this.
Oh my gosh,
it's just a stressful time. You know what I mean?
You know how everybody jokes about how like they're gonna make an author pay for like their therapy bills? I've never once before really genuinely felt that until now, because like I feel very stressed out when I read these books, like to the point where I need to like lay down and
That's
like
why I'm like
something.
That's why I'm like sitting back like this. Like, I made a bowl of cereal and I was like, this will be relaxing. It wasn't relaxing.
No, it's
the opposite of relaxing.
It is. And this author, like, just because at first when I read this book, I didn't know where it was going to go. And then it felt like it was going too fast. And that's because it was like, oh, it's because you're literally going to have like 8 billion twists in this one. Got it. Cool. Good to know. Great. You know, and then book one was just so much gaslighting that I just wanted to like see myself out. But, yeah, love that for you, Neva. But I'm excited that you're going to switch. Give yourself a break. You deserve it. That's why I had to like finish it. That's why I rushed through these books. It's because it's like, listen, I can't live my life like this.
Yeah, that's where I'm at. Is I'm like, I'm going to finish this. Like, I'm dedicated to finishing this. Because like, if I go to something else while I still have 50% of this to read, or 46% of this to read, I'm not going to be able to concentrate on anything else. So I'm going to finish this. And then when this is over, I was going to go to Haunting Adeline, but she's going to have to wait because that book also stresses me out. And so we have to finish this one, move on to my contemporary romance lovey-dovey book, and then we'll see where I go from there.
Okay, perfect. Sorry, I lost myself a little bit. I was doing something in the background. As for me and my reading, I mean, I did pretty good. I got to almost like 40% of the book I'm reading, but I feel like I'm just like burnt out with it. I don't know. I don't know what's wrong with me. It's probably because I don't feel good. So I'm just like, eh. But so then I tried to do an audiobook, but then I wasn't listening because my brain is like, I don't really care about you. So haven't decided. I'll figure it out though. Maybe I got to like go pace around the apartment a little bit, you know? But my husband couldn't hang. I literally looked over and he was like snoring and I was like, go to bed, dude. You're killing the vibe. Like, this is not helpful. I love you, but just go away. So he's gone now. So, but Tina, ironically, you're the first comment, so I'll answer your comment. So yes, so I do not have children, but
Oh.
I do work with kids. I've worked with kids for like literally as long as I could remember because I'm also the oldest of like 8. So
Wow. Yeah.
I've always just had children and people just always are like, "You got it, right? You'll make sure they're alive." And I'm like, "Sure." So then it became my job. So, but my littles that I work with right now, I've been with them for almost 5 years. So since some of them have been itty bitty, but yeah, so I get sick many, many times a year. It happens. You'd think your immune system gets better. It doesn't. It
Yeah.
doesn't. So
My neighbor, my ex neighbor not ex neighbor, but old neighbor brought over her kids to visit, and her 4-year-old like sneezed right in my face. I was like, okay, well, I guess that's what it is then.
they do that. They have no shame. I'll be like, cough into your hand, like cough into your elbow. And then I kid you not, they'll look me directly in the face and cough right at me. And I'm like, all right, fair. Fair. I knew what I signed up for. Fair.
Yeah.
Let's see. There's no modesty in giving birth. No, there isn't. Like seriously,
None.
all terms of like being shy end. I feel like when you give birth, like it's like you're done.
Like, and the thing is, so my best friend from high school, we're still best friends, but my best friend from high school was present in the room with me when my oldest was born. It was her and then my baby daddy, right? And then when my when my second child was born, it was just me and my mom. And then when my third child was born, it was his dad's parents, or his dad's mom and his dad's sister, which like that was not what I would have chosen, but it was the option that I had unless I was going to do it by myself. And then with Ari, it was her biological dad that we don't really talk about, and my older 3 kids' adopted mom. Like she was in there, and like it's fine. You know what I mean? Like everyone's gonna see everything about you. Like, there's no room to be modest because like they can't cover you up.
Yeah, no.
You know, it's just gonna be out there for the world to see. Not the world, but like the room. It is what it is.
Yeah.
Yep. But yeah, I mean, as somebody who has just worked with kids for a long time, like even when moms have to breastfeed and stuff, it's like there's no like we become all so close, but it's like, yeah, with birthing, like I mean, you just got to do what you got to do, what's important. So Kay's talking about the fact that I DNF Jade City, and I will go back. Nikki DNF'd it too. It's not my typical vibe because like it's so focused on like the story and the plot, whereas normally I need like a little bit of romance because
Yeah.
that's what I like. But I do want to test myself to try to read things that don't have romance. I know there's like romance aspects in it.
Yeah.
But it's not like the main. It's more
Here's
like
the thing. I read the first 95 pages, I think, of the first Jade City, and I just decided I wasn't in the mood for it. I do plan on reading the whole trilogy or whatever it is. There was a single sex scene in that first 95 pages, and I read it twice because they were having a conversation like you and I are having, but I'm supposed to believe that they're also doing the deed. There ain't no way.
I know exactly what you're talking about because I did get further
war.
than that.
I think I've heard Will talk about this. I think I've heard you talk about this.
They're literally discussing like like what is happening in the war, and the only indication that you have that they're having any kind of sexy time is that like occasionally it'll be like so and so moaned.
Yeah, they talk about certain things.
And I was like, what the fuck is happening?
Well, you see when a man and a woman. No. But yeah.
And I was like, I know how this works, and it doesn't work like this.
In their situationship, apparently it does. Business and pleasure mix very well for them. They've got things to do, but they also want to smash.
Sure.
So like however it works is great for them. We support them, but also, yeah, it was just not where I was mentally at, and I could feel the slump coming, where I was like, if I force myself to read this, I will have to hide away in a cave for a while, and that wasn't what I wanted.
No.
Nikki said Icebreaker was fine. Tina, have you read Icebreaker? This is important. No. Okay, perfect.
I'm not.
Good for you. Good.
Yeah, I was saying when Chris said I have no interest in reading, I was like, yeah, no, I also like, I don't really read like a lot of like contemporary romances anymore, so no really interest.
So Tina, tell me, what do you read then? I need to know this.
I primarily read cozy mysteries.
Oh,
I used to read dark romance. I stopped reading that, read cozy mysteries, but now I'm trying to branch out. And so right now I'm reading a thriller and a nonfiction and a bunch of other things. So yeah.
No, I love that because I do feel like it's so funny. I feel like before it was kind of like frowned upon to read romance, or at least like so publicly, and now romance is like one of the top genres like out there. And so like I love when I meet people who are like, yeah, I don't necessarily read a lot, and I'm like, oh my gosh, tell me more. Like,
yeah.
But yeah, because like some things I definitely get, but
until halfway through last year, I didn't read romance.
What did you read? No, I'm kidding. I know there's books. Like what was it?
Yeah, no.
When I say I didn't read romance, I really mean like, because Colleen Hoover is not romance. I was reading her, but like, I wasn't even really reading dark romance. Like I just didn't care to do it. Like because I read The Love Hypothesis in 2022, and I was like, it's not really for me. Like the romance genre is not really for me. I read a lot of like thrillers and high fantasy and horror. Yeah, that was really it. And then in like, I guess maybe a couple months after I started doing booktube, I was like, well, let me try dark romance, because dark romance sounded more like what I could get behind. My issue with like contemporary romance was I didn't care about like the lovey-dovey thing. Like I was like, ugh, like
yeah, same.
It's all cringy to me. So I read Sophie Lark. I read Brutal Prince, and then I read Hooked by Emily McIntyre, and I was like, okay, yes, I can get behind this. So then I started kind of delving into that. I read some other stuff, and then the first contemporary romance book I think that I read and thoroughly enjoyed was The Kiss Quotient. I gave it 5 stars, or I gave it 6 stars. It would have been a 6-star book if I was doing 6 stars in 2022, but I gave it 5 stars. And that like started my romance era. I became a romance girly.
Yeah.
I love that. Did you read The Bride Test?
No, I need to. I'm a chronic like
starter, not
like
finisher.
Series starter and not finish. I need to, because here's the thing. In 2020, I read The Dating Plan, which I guess is part of a series. I didn't know it was part of a series because it was like the first book I got from Book of the Month. Because when 2020 hit, we were all at home, and like I had lost my job, so I was like, cool, I'll read. Like, why not? Because 2020, like I'd been part of BookTube before that, but I really became like part of BookTube in 2020. And I read The Dating Plan, and I did like that book. And that's why I think I was annoyed with myself that I couldn't find another book that was contemporary romance that I liked until 2023, because I was like, well, you like The Dating Plan, you freaking weirdo. Like, what's wrong with you? Yeah, but I read The Kiss Quotient, and then I read Delilah Green Doesn't Care. And those are really the 2 books that just, I was like, I'm a romance girly. And then I just started reading all the romance.
Yeah. I'm kind of gonna feel the same with you, Katie. Like, what other is there than romance? Because most of my reading has been romance. From 2019 to the start of last year, I only read romance. I didn't read anything else. And so I started reading cozy mysteries, and then I stopped reading romance. And so I'm like trying to branch out again, like trying to try other things. So yeah.
No, I love to see it. That's why I do read thrillers and I do read fantasy, but I will say that I do love my fantasy to have aspects of romance. It doesn't have to be the major plot, But like if I'm gonna read 18 pages about how the trees look and stuff, can you just have them where they like bang one time maybe? That'd be swell. Just like
Yeah.
give me a give and take kind of scenario. Like I'll read whatever descriptions you want to give me, right? About this magical land. Just let me have a little something, something. If I'm going to be whisked away to a magical land, let me, have a romance with a man who I'll never meet. Could I have that? Maybe so. But in my thrillers, obviously there's no romance there. If there's a romance in my thriller, that's just dark romance. So
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Neva, this is a good question for you because I don't know the answer to this. So I don't know if you know
So
the answer to this.
I do. So no. So there's two different ways that you can charge for Patreon, and I choose to charge it as a subscription. So just like with like Hulu or Spotify or whatever subscriptions that you usually have, you will join on whatever day in the month, and then whatever day that you join, you will be charged every month. So if you join today, which is the 27th for me, I think, yeah, the 27th, then you will be charged on the 27th of every month. There is a way on Patreon. It used to actually be the only way was that we would tell people not to, like, if it's the end of the month, we would say, like, wait until the first to join because you're going to get double charged because they used to only charge on the first of every month. But now it is set up as, I have mine set up as a subscription. So if you join today, then you will be charged the same day every month. You won't get charged again on the first.
So now you know. Spread the news. Join Neva's Patreon. Let's go. Neva, another question for you. Should Sadia read Pucking Around?
So here's what I'm going to tell people. I think everyone should read Pucking Around because it's one of my favorite books. However, I do understand what people's critiques of Pucking Around are. So keep in mind that this is an almost 800-page contemporary hockey romance. If that's not for you, I would say no. It is also polyamorous and gay. Like, it is both things. Two of the main male characters that are in this polycule of 4 people are also in, like, they also do relations with each other. Ultimately, all 4 of them end up doing things all together anyway. So, to me, I tell people, go to the thing, download it, or go. I think you can look on Emily Rath's website. I think she has all of the trigger warnings on her, content warnings on her. They're not really triggers, but the content warnings on her website, and then decide from there. I personally gave it 4.75 stars. I did rate Pucking Wild higher than that. I would suggest that if you're going to read Pucking Wild, you read Pucking Around first. But I have also suggested to people that they read, I think it's 150 pages. There's a novella called
That One Night.
That One Night, and I do suggest people read that. Apparently, if you have the audiobook, That One Night is already in the audiobook. Like, it's all one thing. So if audiobooks are your thing, I would suggest doing it that way. It took me like 3 hours maybe to read That One Night, and then I immediately went into Pucking Around. But it gives you backstory on puppy dog Jake and Rachel that I feel like is important. I feel like it would be, I think it would feel a bit insta-lovey. It feels, it's insta-lovey anyway, but I feel like it would feel more insta-lovey if you just went into Pucking Around and experienced, like, it wouldn't make a lot of sense. Like, it would be like, what do you mean? Because with That One Night, there's just background information that they kind of allude to it in Pucking Around, but they don't give you the real, like, detail, like the meat and potatoes of it. So I mean, yeah, I am probably biased. Like, Katie would probably tell you, don't read it.
I would not. Listen.
What did you not like about it?
Okay, let's
I don't think I've ever asked you this.
So first of all, the issue is, when you and I chatted about it, I was like high in my feels about it. Like I was right in the thick of it, right?
Yeah.
So like now that I've had time to, walk away from it, spend some time apart, we're getting our space. It's not like that bad, which sounds like when like somebody says like, you're not that ugly. It's like, wow, thanks so much. I appreciate you.
Thanks, bud.
Like,
Yeah.
whoa. But it's like, okay, I like the novella. I agree that, like, I think it's a good place to start. I think it's a great introduction. One, the length is a problem. It really, really is. It is way too long. Also, I just feel like I needed more time with, like, if she would have broken this up even into 2 books,
I agree.
it would have been so much easier for my brain, because, like, she's trying to shove so much stuff in here where there's certain things I wish we could have spent more time with. Like, I liked the 2 guys and their relationship. I like that a lot. I don't think it's explored enough, especially in, like, poly relationships. Everybody's always just trying to be main focus on the woman. I want to explore those things. And then it's like, then I really did actually like the goalie a lot, and I liked his storyline and things like that. But again, I felt like there wasn't a great balance between, like, the actual story and then the introduction of the smut. I felt like there was so much smut and not enough of, like, us actually, like, understanding them as characters and their growth. So, like, I was just mad at the time because I could see where the potential could go. Because, like, I know you talked a lot about how this is for representation for poly relationships, which are important. But then we also have to make sure we do it in a way where people are like, this is a great book. Read this book. And when we,
Yeah. So yeah, for me, it definitely was the poly representation, because hear me out. A lot of times, what we get when people talk about polyamorous books is not polyamory. It's why choose, which is not the same thing. And it actually really irks me when people do this, because polyamory and why choose are not the same. So with a why choose, it would be like one woman to multiple partners, which is fine. That's a dynamic. That is a dynamic. But almost always in why choose books, they are somehow, like, the men that she's involved with are somehow interconnected. So it's like they either see all of themselves as brothers, or it's like the Witsex series where they're actually brothers, or they're best friends. Like, it's some kind of dynamic like that, which is fine. I love a why choose, but that's not polyamory. Okay. Polyamorous people. Like, I'm not out here, like, dating a man and then also dating his brother. I'm not, no. I mean, if that's what you want to do, cool. But, like, to me, no. Okay. So with this book, we had distinctly different people. Now, obviously, the 3 men in this book are all part of the Jacksonville Rays team in one way or the other. 2 of them are actual hockey players. We have the goalie, and I think Jake is a forward. I don't remember. But I know Mars is a goalie. And then we have Cal, he was injured, like, that's explained, but he was injured and his hockey career ended. So he's like the manager of the team. So they're all like part of the team. Okay. And then Rachel is the doctor, like the team's doctor. Which, is it ethical? Who knows?
My favorite thing,
No.
potential spoiler. My favorite thing is, so when her and one of the guys, you know what I'm talking about, Neva,
Yeah.
they go to see a specialist, right? And the specialist is like, hey, yo, person, take it easy. Take it easy. And I kid you not, they go back to the hotel room and have so many rounds of sex. And I'm
They
like,
do.
as a doctor, ma'am, you need some help. But I was like, listen, she couldn't help herself. He was just that good. Her ethics as a
It was just
doctor,
that good. Yeah.
gone.
I will say this. I am a sucker for a grump. Okay. I'm a very sunshiny person in my relationships. I tend to be the sunshine to someone else's grumpy, which can be a little annoying for the other person. So, to my current person, I apologize, but also not really. So 2 of the characters, Mars and Cal, are much grumpier. Like, Mars is definitely the grump. Like, he's very like, he's Finnish, and he's written very much like that, so he's very like gruff and just like to the point, and like, this is what I want, that's it type of a man. Cal is like, he gives me like daddy Dom vibe. so he's grumpy and he's like that. But like if you know what I'm saying, some people won't know what I mean. But like he's very dominant, but also very he can be soft, right? So like it's a very like
The switch.
daddy dom kind of vibe, but
Mhm.
he's definitely also a switch personality. And then we have Jake, which I know
Just
that
soft.
Jake was Brooklyn's issue. He is like golden retriever, cinnamon roll, like soft as a pillow kind of person, which is fine. I feel like he balances out everyone else, but I did find him to be annoying. And I do wish that we had gotten a bit more development from Mars, which you do get if you're willing to go into Pucking Ever After, and then if you're willing to read Pucking Wild, you do see character develop. And I think she may have done that on purpose, where we see character development, but from different characters' POVs, if that makes sense. Um, because we are introduced to the two characters that are in Pucking Wild in Pucking Around. Yeah,
Mm.
we are. So I wish we'd gotten more character development from Mars in Pucking Around. And I do wish that we had explored the gay relationship a little bit deeper. Like they all end up together and married and all that crap in the end. But like my thing is like I feel like there was so much there because that relationship had just been at least from one side, right? Had just been like brewing for like years and years and years and years and years. And so then like when we finally got it, I was like, okay, well we could have maybe expanded.
Yeah.
Now I could maybe say that because Emily Rath is a woman, that perhaps she chose not to do that because sometimes women write gay relationships and they come off very fetishy. They come off kind of gross. And I'm almost wondering if maybe she just took like the safe route with that and chose to not try to expand on it for fear that it would not be portrayed the way she wanted it to, which is fair. Um, but I do agree with your critiques, Katie. I do.
I,
And I think I didn't ask you at the time how you were feeling because we were doing Clue and you were in the thick of reading it. And I was like, oh, do you love it? And you were like, no.
I was a little harsh. I remember saying like, I'm gonna finish it and then I never want to think about this book again. Like I remember
She
saying those
did.
words.
And I was like, oh, well, now I don't even want to ask
Oh
her
my
like what
gosh.
she didn't like. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
and I will agree, I think it could have been split into two books. I also understand that this was originally published. I think it's still on Kindle Unlimited, but it was originally published independently on KU.
Mhm.
And I've just come to the conclusion, and some people don't like this, but I've just come to the conclusion that we're going to get much longer books on Kindle Unlimited because of the shady way that people get paid through KU.
Yeah.
The longer that's why we have like Lucy Score writing 700-page contemporary romance. It's not because they need to be 700 pages, but it's because that's what she's getting paid for, and a majority of people are going to read her books on Kindle Unlimited.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah. So if you feel like if my pitch that I just gave you sounds appealing, then I say give it a try.
If
Honestly,
you're still here.
Pucking Around was my introduction to hockey romance.
Mm.
And
If
now
that
look
sounds
at her
good.
Patreon.
And
It's
now
all about hockey.
yeah, I'm literally in my hockey
Yeah.
romance era.
Mhm.
I'm about
That
to
could
make
be you.
I'm about to
Oh.
make hockey romance merch, to be honest. Will anyone buy it? Probably not. Probably just me.
I
But
mean, the hockey girlies are, they're out there. You just gotta tell them. Tell them. So,
Mhm.
but yeah, I'm not gonna lie, Neva. These conversations have made me feel more validated. You saying you seem, I'm like, oh my gosh. But I'm not gonna lie to you. I am dramatic. I am nothing if
me
not
too.
dramatic.
Yeah.
I'm
So,
dramatic.
Yes.
so yeah,
I mean, look at this whole memorial service we got going on. If that's not dramatic, I don't know what is.
I'll
When
light a candle. I'll say some words.
when I saw that on her story, I was like, wait, like I glimpsed it. I was like, oh my gosh, what happened? Like something happened that I legitimately was like, oh my gosh, like what, like how,
We
like
split. We split apart. It's fine.
And then,
I'll
as in, like, I
take
thought
something.
one of you guys was dead. Like, I was
Oh
like,
no.
oh my gosh, what happened? And then I went back and I was like,
We would first of all, we would never announce it like that. That is so callous.
no.
Could you
And I saw
imagine?
the
All
corner of
right.
an eye.
Could you imagine? Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
All right. I'm going to keep this conversation brief for this one just because, like, again, I feel like this is another thing I could go into a tangent
Oh
about.
god.
But asking us about Ruby Frank crimes and what's my opinion about family channels. Personally, the things that Ruby did, disgusting. I'm not surprised, though, based on her content that's been around for
Yeah.
years and years and years.
Yeah.
It's been evident what kind of a parent she is and what kind of parent we've let her profit off of, which is gross, in my opinion. But listen, family channels, in my opinion, are gross. Kids can't give consent to being on channels. And there's a difference between, like, I want to be very clear, like Neva, especially like with Ari wanting to be like in a video versus you, like every waking moment. You don't shove the kid, you know what I mean? Like, you're not exploiting your child. She very much wants to be involved, and it is very minimal. There's a difference between that and then making your children your brand and forcing them to like have a content schedule. That's gross. And your kids are going to grow up on the internet, and the internet is harsh, and they deserve to have their own life. So I'm not going to get into a tangent, but like it 1000% affects your children and affects your relationship with your children. So not worth the money, in my opinion. And the truth always comes out. And most of the time, those kids are never going to talk to their parents again.
Yeah, so my answer is pretty much the same. Truthfully, people have been screaming from the rooftops about Ruby Frankie for years. No one wants to listen.
Yeah.
We brought it back up when everything with Micah Stauffer happened, which the Micah Stauffer situation hit me in a different kind of way because her situation was with a child that she adopted, and then I hate this phrase, but then she like rehomed him.
Yeah.
Which as a birth parent, brought out a whole different kind of rage.
When it's on the internet now for that child to see one day, like that's...
Yeah, and you don't adopt children and then, I mean, there is one situation I can think of off the top of my head that I've personally witnessed where that happened, where I said, like, I didn't agree with it, but it was for the best interest of the people's safety. You know what I'm saying? But Ruby Frankie, I'm not surprised that the charges that she got are what they are. We've been saying for years, like, this is a problem. She's lost thousands of subscribers throughout the years for this being a problem. I don't know if people thought that it was like funny when her older son came out and said that he had no bed and no bedroom and was sleeping on a air mattress in the middle of their living room. Like, I don't know if they thought that that was like a funny, like a ha-ha I don't know. In my opinion, her and Jody Hildebrandt are evil people and don't profit off your kids. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
For like 2 seconds, I thought about doing like a vlogging channel that did involve Ari much more. I mean, obviously, I think there might be one video that's just Ari on my channel, and it's like a birthday unboxing. Like, it's her opening birthday gifts because I didn't know another way to do it where everyone that sent her stuff could see it. But anything else, I mean, she's in like the Iowa vlog from a couple years ago. But mostly she's not really in videos that go on my main channel. I'm working on a video right now that's like Ari picks my books or whatever, but that's going on Patreon. It's a Patreon exclusive. It's not just because like, why are we making our children? No. Because like, they can't, like Katie said, they can't consent to it. And in 20 years when they're grown up and they look back on it, like, do we think that they're going to be okay with every aspect of their life being on the internet? Like, from the time that they wake up to the time they go to bed, and then everything in between. We have like moms taking their teenage daughters to go bra shopping and talking about like their menstrual cycles on the internet. Like, no one needs to know that.
Yeah.
You know what I
Like,
mean?
some of their most embarrassing moments will be relived in front of, and I mean millions of people I would be mortified because like they don't understand at this point where they're at right now
Right.
at their ages.
No.
But when they grow up and they want to date and they want to whatever, that's there forever. And the internet, it doesn't go away. And like, so it's like, even with me working with littles, like sometimes you'll see car seats, you will never know anything whatsoever. Like that is, even though their parents very publicly talk about them and everything, and you could find it for sure, I will never purposely show children in any capacity. That is private, and like they deserve to live their normal life. Just because I choose to be on the internet does not mean that they do.
Yeah.
So, but you know what? I get it. They make a lot of money. I understand that parents, they see that, and it's not my place to tell them what to do. But if you're asking my opinion, I think it's wrong. But people watch it. So,
and I mean, who are like, I don't know who's watching these videos, right? Like, I was watching, like, I used to watch her, like, enjoyed her content when I was like 10, like, I was like, what, 10, 7 years old. And then once I, like, got older, I was like, this doesn't, like, this ain't right. Like all the things that,
I never watched Ruby Frankie because she just, I mean, I guess I'd seen like a video here or there, but I was never like subscribed. She gave me the ick, But I did watch some, like I watched a chick named Meg for a while because she did like, her channel kind of evolved into like a family channel, but she was doing like cleaning videos, like clean with me's.
I know who you're talking about, I think.
And she collabed with like this chick named, I think her name's Erin Williams. She would like they did this like really cute collab, which some people didn't like it, but I thought it was cute. It was like 6 of them. They were all like, like cleaner people. Like by that I mean like they would do like clean with me's, get ready with me's, like kind of like the like for like ADHD people where we kind of need somebody to like mirror us while we're doing things. Okay. So I would use them for that. They did like this big collab where there was like 6 of them and they each picked a decade. So like one of them was like the 40s housewife, one of them was the 50s housewife, like all the way up to like, I don't know, whatever year it was, 2010 or something. But it was like a cute like collab because like you could tell that like they each researched like their decade, so they like dressed for the time period, they like prepared things in their home the way that you would for the time, like it was like cute. But then all of them kind of evolved into being mommy vloggers, and I was like, well, now I don't want to watch you. Because it does. Jordan Cheyenne was one that I still watch her, but I took a break after her controversy happened, and her controversy was nowhere near what Ruby Frankie's is, but it was still gross. So her son is the same age as my second oldest son. So when I started watching her, it was when my 2 oldest kids were really little. They're only 20 months apart. So they were both really little, and I would watch her because she did a lot of like manifestation videos and like get ready with me. She started as like a makeup YouTuber and then evolved into like health and wellness, which is what she's doing now. I know that she's kind of left YouTube at this point and is more on like TikTok. She's like one of the few people that I keep up with via TikTok because it's the only way to keep up with her. But she left YouTube because maybe 2 years ago. Yeah.
A while ago, yeah.
They had adopted a dog in like 2020, and then I think in 2022 they had adopted another dog, and the second dog had parvo. This puppy had parvo, which is terrible and sad and blah blah blah. However, she uploaded a vlog that had B-roll in it, and the B-roll was of her coaching her child, who I believe was 8 at the time, how to cry for the camera because she was trying to take a thumbnail, and you can audibly hear it. And I saw the video before she took it down and re-edited it and put it back up and posted an apology and all this other shit. And in the video, she's saying like, look like this, look like you're crying. And you can hear him say, I'm already crying. And I was like,
oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And like her dad saw it, her mom saw it, her brother saw it, and they were all like, maybe we should take a step back. She ended up going on the Dad Challenge podcast. I don't know if her interview is still up or not because, while I don't agree with a lot of things that Josh says, he has always said that if he exposes somebody and then they remove the content and they pivot their channel or they leave or whatever, but if they remove their child from the content, that he will never speak about them again and he'll remove anything on his channel that has to do with that. So that interview may no longer be up. But I watched it when it first went up because I was pretty upset by it because I was like, I've literally been watching you for years. And like she was like the last person that you would expect. I think that we know that these things happen behind the scenes, but because we don't see them, we don't think about it. You know what I mean? So she went on and she talked to Josh and he asked her hard questions. And she said, you know, I'm going to be taking a break. I'm going to be removing my kid from all of the stuff. And like, very rarely you'll like hear him in the background or he'll like walk into frame, but she doesn't put him in any YouTube videos anymore. Like, she's done her due diligence, but like it seemed like in 2022, for some reason, from like 2022 until now, we've had this weird like implosion of family channels on YouTube.
Mm.
And I
Yeah.
just think it's because they're figuring out that people are figuring them out. And it's all weird. You know? Also, don't watch Jess Fam, because
Don't.
I did watch her for like 2 years. Because I was like, oh, she's doing the thing. Like, she was a 17-year-old mom. And then, like, the farther it got, I was like, never mind.
Mm.
Coda said that your whip and cover was beautiful.
I'm glad you enjoyed it. I've not let it sink in yet. That song really, like, first of all, the ex-besties helped me decide on the song because I was going to do a different song. And then I was like, what am I going to do? Is this for the Besties Memorial?
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
we got a few song choices. So Better Than Revenge. I support a Taylor Swift, but you know, copyright might not.
Right.
Since You've Been
Oh, true.
Gone.
Oh, I could do that one.
These Boots Are Made for Walking.
Could do that one.
A lot of Taylor Swift songs would work. Karma, Bad Blood. Ooh, Bad Blood would be a good choice. Look What You Made Me Do. Did Something Bad.
So the only thing I'm worried about with Swift is the copyright, because I know she's very, which, like, listen, honestly, I don't even fault her for it because, you know, she had her music stolen and all that stuff, and then she had to like fight in court for all of it. So like, I get it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't want to be sued by Taylor Swift.
I mean, she won't sue you straight up. She would probably just send something and say, hey, take it down.
Take it down right now. And I would do it because she's scary. I could do Kelly Clarkson.
We support it. It'd be fun.
Do I have the pipes for Kelly Clarkson? Probably. I could do it. I'll practice at work while I do dishes. She will be called that. Yeah, that's what she looks like. She looks like somebody took a bottle of Pepto-Bismol and just like poured it over her head, but somehow missed her hair because her hair's not pink.
Sorry, I'm scrolling through some of these because I will never catch up if I don't. Okay. Not that I don't love our chat, I do, but I feel like people are gonna be like, so you gonna read my comment or come back tomorrow? And
here, I will say this: a lot of these people are used to me and Nicole.
If I wasn't on a time restraint,
but we're also like on a time restraint of 4 hours.
Yeah, like I'd let us vibe forever, but I'm like, we have to get into our next sprint in like the next 20 minutes, or else there's no way. So I'm doing my best. Do you have a favorite movie about a woman who becomes or who reads or becomes a reader? No.
Beauty and the Beast. To be honest.
Fair. I'm not gonna lie. Like the first time I felt seen in terms of like a girl who liked to read, it was Hermione, but obviously, you know how that has turned out, guys. It's
I mean, but I think that Emma Watson,
amazing
as a person, will always be that person for people because she played Hermione, right, and then years later played Belle. So like she's just like the quintessential like reading girly, you know.
Hello. Reading Holmes, Marble. Is it Marble?
Marble,
okay, and Poe by Patterson and Sitz. Okay. Yes, we were talking about Luke.
We love Luke.
Gilmore Girls is
yes.
also Reader, right? Like,
Yes, Rory.
not a movie,
Yes.
but yeah.
Yes, so cozy. Just popping in. Oh yes, and I did respond to this earlier, much earlier. Thanks for stopping by, Squishy. In this sprint, I'll feed the cats outside and walk my dog and indoor cats. Lots of pets to feed. I would love a whole house of pets, but I'm also lazy, so 2 is enough. Just arriving, attempting to read a book called, oh yes, Bright Young Women. I do know about this book. It is a kind of historical, kind of based on true things, but also twisted, like mystery thriller type vibes, because I believe it's based on like real crimes that happened, but tweaked a little. We're saying hi to Tina. We've gotten closer to reality.
Hi.
25 pages and got distracted talking to my mom. Listen, we're all distracted here. Welcome. 8 pages left. Please mute us. I hope you have, and I hope you finish. Didn't read, hanging out with a friend and rewatching After Dark sprints. Oh my gosh, Neva, aka Unhinged podcast episode 1 during the sprints.
Because I had to change the title because I was like, if people come here thinking that because people watch my sprints, like they rewatch them like for the sprinting. We sprinted one time. And then the rest was just 6 hours of us talking to each other.
To be fair,
and then
I
we
can
had
see
like,
how
a
that
special
happens.
guest
that
showed up in the comments. You know what I mean? So like, it is what it is. It's fine. It was a great time.
Got to 38% in Ruthless Vows. 100 years of war in Palestine and folding laundry. Very nice. I need to get to laundry eventually when it's not 1:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I started laundry in the last sprint too.
Nice. Got 3% read at 93% is sold to keep. Random horror book I found on KU. Okay. Maybe open a window and let. Yes, I do have a window open right now. I'm not gonna lie, because I mean it's beautiful in Minnesota. It really is. I'm also the oldest of a bunch of kids. I spent my childhood being an extra parent, though. Yep, and really burned out on parenting. Exactly. Yep, being in the oldest is not always fun.
Being the oldest. Listen, and let me tell you, you don't just like outgrow being the oldest. I was like, one day we'll all be adults and I'll be fine. No. Why do they still call me?
Neva, you're gonna love this. You're gonna love this comment. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
First of all, it was in a limo. Second of all, I love that scene. I was living.
I just don't know. We always talk about this. It never fails. We will never escape this book till the day we die, and I'm living for it.
It's just
from Icebreaker, by the way. Tina.
I was here for it.
Okay.
Except for Christmas romance, I read fantasy and smut. Love me some smut. Same. Depending. It has to be good. And it has to, provide something. Didn't like Jade City either, and I got shut down during someone's live chat. Oh, no. Listen, I will never shut somebody down because I think all opinions are valid. If anything, I love having discussions because I want to understand other people's point of views. Just because I don't like something doesn't mean we can't have a conversation and I can't find mutual ground. So that ain't going to happen here. On that note, reading A Court of Nightmare by K.A. Knight. Why have I heard stuff about this book? Is
that the author of Den of Vipers?
Yeah, I think so.
I have not read that book because it scares me.
Yeah, I read that. Also scares me, to be honest. And I like me some dark romance, but Jesus Christ.
It was disgusting. It was very gory. So you have to I would think you would be ready for a horror book.
Wait, Den of Vipers is very gory?
Yeah, super I almost threw up reading it gory.
I know there's knife play, and that's where I think I draw the line. I was telling my husband about it, and I was like, I don't understand. That doesn't mean that other people can't be into it, but truly, I don't understand. So I just don't think I can vibe with it. So
yeah, I really loved it when I was reading it. It was just really dense. At least for me, it was. I was like, this is emotional, and I don't want to deal with this right now. So I never finished it.
Divorced for 22 years. I can't read romance. It makes me gag, but depending on what the romance is, if it's super cutesy, that's why I can't read cozy books. I need there to be drama and trauma, both. I don't want everything to be fine and hunky dory. I don't know how to vibe with that because can't relate. I'm usually not a fan of contemporary romance either. Usually if I read romance, it's fantasy romance or another genre mix. I mainly read fantasy. I love this candy. Hi, welcome. And is that a picture of a cat? Tell me more. Okay, not distracted.
It is, yes.
Describe me a magical tree. Yeah. I mean, I like the way you think, Nikki. Absolutely. I started off on reading romance because my aunt was a heavy reader and that many moons ago. Yeah, same. My aunt used to, yep, agreed. Not opposed to reading romances. I think, when you find the right author, it just clicks. But until then, listen to 7 minutes of Ignite, but it's time. Okay, thanks, Amal. I'm sure you're so long gone. But thank you. And I'm so glad you're reading Ignite. It makes me so happy. Yes, I saw this, you guys. I don't know what happened, but thank you all so much. Like, seriously, it feels like I'm really bad at like saying compliments and like saying nice things about myself. Other people all the time, anytime.
Yeah.
But so like,
I'm glad
thanks.
Katie and I are the same person because
I was talking to Leandra about this, about how like I think most of us, the reason we connect so well, even though we barely know each other, is that like we are very similar people. And so we just click. We don't need to have like long history because we all are just so alike.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because you can ask Nicole. Nicole is basically my hype person. Like when I mean, now I'm having issues with YouTube, but that's fine. I'll get it rectified. It is what it is. But like when I was first like eligible for partial monetization, it was Nicole that like was like, everybody go subscribe to the membership. And then like when I set up the Patreon, I was like, do you all just want me to move it over? And like most people agreed to move it over, so I just did. And then when we moved it over, then it became like Nicole was like, yeah, Neva hit 600. Like, I don't talk about myself like for a while.
Yeah, no.
Like, I mean, I made a post and I was like, thank you for 600 friends, whatever.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm not one to be like, please go subscribe to the Patreon. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not, I feel weird doing it.
Yeah. I've never, in my
videos,
I've never said, sorry, in my videos, I've never said like, please like and subscribe. Like I've never been able to say that. I'm like, I just don't. I'm not there yet. I can't do that yet.
And I'll say it in videos. That's the crazy part. Like at the end of like vlogs or videos or whatever, I'll be like, yeah, all my links are down below. Like, subscribe, do all the things. Patreon, buy me a coffee. But like I'm not one to like shamelessly plug things. I have shamelessly plugged my own merch before if I'm wearing it in a video, especially like when I've just bought new merch, like I've designed, like I'm going to be buying some merch here in a couple weeks. And when I buy that, I will be wearing it. And then I'll be like, yeah, go buy, isn't this a cool shirt? Go buy it. But like, it happens in like one video and then I just forget to mention merch ever again. So,
yeah.
Yeah, I feel the same way. I haven't gotten to the point yet where I say like and subscribe because I'm just like, I mean, if you want to do it. Yeah.
Most people know
if
they want to or not. Like,
I think imposter syndrome though is so heavy in the community where you ask yourself, where you're like, you see other people's content and you're like, wow, look at that. That's amazing. And then you're like, where do I fit in that space? Like, why would people want to watch me when they could watch this? And I'm like, oh, well.
I was looking, so I have all of my thumbnails. All my thumbnails are saved into one Canva, like, thing, right? Yep. So I just have one that's just labeled Reading with Neva thumbnails. And so it's every thumbnail that I've ever made.
Oh, wow, okay.
And I was scrolling through them the other day, and I was like, Brittany, Rainey, and Kelsey, how did y'all let me upload these as thumbnails? Because here's the thing is like we send each other thumbnails and we'll be like, is this cute? Whatever. They really told me that some of these thumbnails were cute.
See, that's why you guys are besties. Because
I mean, in their defense, none of us knew what the hell we were doing.
Fair.
You know what I mean? So they were like, well, at the time, and I'm like, yeah, but could you imagine if I posted this thumbnail now? People would laugh me off of YouTube.
They would not. I found that personality matters so much more than what your content looks like. I've seen there are some people who are so like they grow very quickly, and I think it's because people just vibe with them once they find them. Obviously, you got to be found, but like, I just think that's what really shines through is people can tell when you're just not being genuine. So,
who is she talking about? Is she talking about Mars?
I think so, yes, because we're getting into the
He
comments now.
definitely is, but but I could see why people wouldn't like him as a character.
I liked him.
It's sort of like in Witsec. Like, my favorite brother in Witsec is the oldest brother, Knox. And while other people I read the series first, and then everybody else decided to read it.
Yeah.
Because I gushed over it so much. Because it was like one of my favorite series of 2023. But anyway, like, Kelsey didn't like Knox very much. Which, like, I understood because he's very grumpy daddy Dom style. And I feel like that you're only gonna like that if you like a certain style of dude.
Yeah.
You know? So, like, I get it.
I love a good grump. I think it's so funny, Neva, that you're talking about how you're the sunshine, because I am so the grumpy one in my relationship. My husband's a golden retriever. He's the nicest man in the world. It's the only reason why we work out. If he was a psychopath like me, we'd burn this apartment to the ground.
See, I don't want you to think I'm not crazy. I'm crazy. I'm
With a
just
smile on your face.
I'm just a sunshiny one. So, like, if the smile leaves my face or it seems to get sinister, then we should be scared. You know what I mean? I'm like that one that, like, I cry through my tears. I mean, I smile through my tears is what I meant. Not cry through what?
Whatever. What? Listen, it's late.
I'm that person that, like, I can be hurt and crying, but I'm still like, everything's gonna be fine.
Where you're like, oh, she's cracked. She's crazy.
So it becomes like, but I also cry when I'm really angry, and that's when people are like, oh.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Maybe we were gonna go. We're gonna check out now.
Yeah. Mm.
Also, not to be distracted, Tina, where do you live? Like, is it late for you, or is this like, okay? I wasn't sure because I was like,
same time as Neva, so it's what, 2:30 now, right? Almost 2:40. Yeah. I live in Kentucky. I live in Eastern Kentucky. There's a part of Kentucky that's EST and then CST, so I live in the Eastern section.
I just wasn't sure if you were one of our Australian friends, or I was like,
no.
How was your day? You're a same person, but no, you just stay up late like the rest of us. Perfect. No. We love this.
Typically, like, if it was, you would be able to see the light coming through.
I didn't say I was logical at this hour, you know, like
No. Yeah.
So yeah, so Saudi said that they're gonna try that one night, and
that's what I would do.
That's fair.
Yeah, because it's like, I don't know, maybe 200 pages. I don't know. It's not very long.
It's not. So, it was short. Yeah, I listened to the audio at like 2 speed, and I finished it in like an hour, so maybe less. Yes, I love merch. Anytime you have merch, let me know, because, like, listen, that's where I spend a lot of my money. I'm not gonna lie about it.
I'll send you the merch link. You can go look around. I've redesigned some of it because Brittany had designed merch, and I was like, did you have somebody draw stuff? Because, like, I'm about to, like, hire somebody. She was like, just use Canva. Why didn't I think of that?
You know.
So I redesigned a bunch of merch. If y'all try to buy merch and for some reason it won't let you purchase it, let me know. Because at one point I had, like, Gilmore Girls themed stuff in there. I still have 2. I have one shirt. It comes, like, in multiple different shirts. I always in every collection I will always offer hoodies, crew necks, and a t-shirt, just because, yeah, sometimes I'll offer other things too, but I'll always offer those. And then in anything that I feel like is child appropriate, I will offer, like, a youth size, because Ari likes the youth size. Okay, but you don't have to buy the youth size. But I have one that's like Rory. It says, like, Rory and Dean and Logan. No, Rory and Dean and Jess and Logan on it. I have that one. It's packed away. It let me purchase it. But I had another one that it did not let me purchase because it specifically said Gilmore Girl on it. Mm-hmm. And they were like, this is copyright, whatever. But the one that I wear all the time that says I live in a world, or I live in 2 worlds, one is a world of books, it will let you buy that one. And that's a Rory quote. So yeah, you're welcome.
You know, it's interesting what you can do and you can't do on the internet. You know, we're learning. Oh, hello, Brooke. Just finished Iron Flame the other night, and now I'm starting Checkmate by Allie Hazelwood. I did like this one. I know, Neva, you said that you have a love-hate relationship with Allie Hazelwood. Basically, what's ironic is, so you know how you were mid about the Love Hypothesis? That's like the only book of hers that I actually really liked, and then I did like Checkmate, so I love this for us.
Here's the thing. I've I don't even think it's a love-hate relationship with Ellie Hazelwood. Like, I understand that people like her. I just don't care.
And that's fair.
I've read a couple of her novellas.
They're all the same.
Which I read after I read The Love Hypothesis, because I was like, well, maybe I just don't like the fact that it's like Rilo fanfic. Because like I'm a very like old school Star Wars girly. Like I don't really vibe with the newer movies. So I was like, maybe that's my issue, right? The whole like Kylo Ren thing. And then so I tried a couple of the other STEM like novellas, and I don't like her descriptions. I don't care that every man that she writes about is like the biggest man known to Earth, and that every woman is a hobbit. Stop it.
She's got her thing that she's trying to live out, and we're just gonna let her have it, So,
this is also true.
I thought this was funny. The thing is, I'd consider a takedown from Taylor Swift a win because at least she noticed me. Although I hate to break dreams, but realistically, she probably didn't notice you. Her legal team did, but you can believe whatever you want. We stand, we support you.
We love a good Delulu. You know what I'm saying?
And you know what? Maybe she did notice you. Maybe she was like, you know what? This one's different. You're special. You're not like other girls, Brooke. You.
And her legal team noticed he was like only one step from her. It's pretty
maybe
much,
they
pretty
debriefed her on it, So like you came up. I love this thought process, honestly. And yes, this is fair. Book Thief is about a girl who becomes a reader. I just haven't read the book yet though, so fair. Hello, Melissa. I'm gonna go to bed. Night, friends. Good night.
Good night.
Hi, Vanessa. Randomly woke up and body can't decide if it wants to go back to sleep or just get up. Get up, come hang out with us. We've got sprints for the rest of the day, basically. Because like once Neva's 24-hour sprints are done, Leandra's sprinting like crazy.
Oh yes.
So genuinely, you don't go to bed.
Listen, because she added me to the group, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, well, I can try to get on Sunday. But I'm sprinting till tomorrow at 4. And she's like, we really are just giving everybody all the sprints of their life.
That's why I literally told everybody I know. I was like, I'm literally booked up this weekend because I will be all over the place. So yeah. Wolf to the answer to Hello Nikki novels. I'm not gonna lie to you. I genuinely don't remember what the question was, and I am so sorry. I tried to scroll back, but it was probably from like a lifetime ago. So Annie, I love your answer. I just don't remember the question. I had to think on it. If it is considered, is it fantasy romance? Okay, I had to think on it, but I'm not sure if romance fantasy, although the book fits what I consider. I'm going to say it's romantasy is what you're trying to say.
Yeah, I think the book that she's reading, she's not sure if it would be considered romantasy by other people, but it fits her criteria. Here's the thing. I feel like romantasy is kind of a broad thing because you could interpret certain books as being a romantasy, even if the romance part of it is not in the forefront.
Yeah. It's vague. We're still learning what is considered romantasy. And I feel like it is so different for other people, but I'm going to read this comment so fast because I'm at the end, you guys. I did it. So we're going to roll with this real fast before people comment. Not because I don't care. I do, but we did something, people. We did it. Yes. So we were saying, but if her legal team noticed you, that means she paid someone to notice you, so she thinks you're worth it. And I agree. You are worth it. Listen, even though what you're doing, bad, stop it. But she noticed you, so good job. All right, we're going to star it. My guys, I can't believe it. We have to already say it's the final sprint. So like we're really not much better than sprints after dark because
it's fine.
Yeah.
We're 24-hour sprints are always unhinged. They got a good 8 hours of reading.
But I'm not gonna lie to you. I love this though because I've been having so much fun. And so I'm not mad about it. And I got to meet Tina. So like all in all, what a win right now. I'm just saying.
Right.
But I'm changing this to 45 minutes because we need to have a chance to be able to try and wrap up and get to Tina's at a timely manner, which I don't foresee happening, but we're going to do our stinking best. So
we'll try.
In 45 minutes, if you need to leave during this time, totally understand. I am going to get Tina's link put in the chat for you guys so you guys can quickly, maneuver over. But otherwise, the playlist is also in my description. Please check it out. And if you haven't already, I'm going to give a little spiel. Make sure you are subscribing to Neva and to Tina, okay? Do that. All right, 45 minutes. Go. Hello, everyone. We're back. We did it. Final sprint happened. How did everyone do?
Good. I read, I don't know, like 4 chapters of One Bad Apple by Cheryl Connolly.
All right. I saw you working on your crocheting as well.
Yes, I was working on my my book genre blanket for the year.
Oh, it's so cute.
Yes, I did change it. I did have it as a book rating blanket, but I changed it, and then I was doing some cross stitching.
Skills I could not comprehend.
I thought you were a crocheter.
Listen, have I crocheted before? Have I done a crochet? Like, have I held a hook and I did crocheting with a yarn? Yes. Did it ever become a thing that like I would tell people and show them? Absolutely never. But I have indeed. But what's funny is it's like, could I tell you what like kind of crochet thing I did? No. So I would love to. I think it's so cool. Like I'd love to create like cute little like plushy little things. Oh,
I'm a journey,
it
yeah.
take over my life. But not until they make crochet for like dummies, and I mean like dummies. No.
Have you thought about trying the Woobles? Because I'm thinking about ordering some.
I've thought about it, but see, I have to determine whether or not to spend money on books or on hobbies.
Yeah.
See, and that is the dilemma. Because like today, I got 5 new diamond paintings, but they were gifted to me, like out of someone's stash. Like so, I follow someone on social media, and her mom. Like I consider this person my friend. Her mom found me because I posted like a happy birthday thing like last week.
Yeah.
And then like reached out to me on Facebook and here's what's crazy. She commented on my update photo of my Doctor Who painting where I had got the first row done. And I was like, that name looks familiar to me, but like it was like in that way that I was like, oh, probably just like a book person. You know what I mean? Well, then I went to my Facebook messages and she had reached out to me and she was like, you don't know who I am, but I'm so and so's mother. And I saw that you diamond paint. So I just wanted to know if you would like some diamond paintings. And I was
like,
so now I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to pay this forward because she sent me a box of 5 today. And then she's like, don't worry, I have another box that will be coming to you soon. Thank you so much. But now I'm like, how do I pay this forward? You know? So probably, I don't know. I might do like what Diamond Painting Anonymous does. Daphne from Diamond Painting Anonymous, she has like a Google form that you fill out, and then she like picks a random person every month to do like a random act of kindness. Like, I mean, and I'll put in there like, I'm not gonna send you diamond painting stuff if you don't like diamond painting. That would be weird.
Yeah.
But I'll like I'll be like, do you like books? Do you like what do you like? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
I made it to part 2 of my book. I'm 63% through this book, and the twists just keep on coming. Who even knows at this point? At this point, I'm being guided on how to kill my husband. So the husband I don't have.
But you can now dream about the future.
But now I can figure out how to score a rich husband and then murder him, I guess. Yeah.
I
And then
feel
frame someone else for his murder.
Yeah. Just don't let it be me, because I'm gonna be too sus at this point. You'd be like, oh, you want to come over? No.
Wait,
No,
here's the thing. Here's the thing. I watch a lot of true crime. Okay, this was actually a conversation that came up today when we went to go get Ari from school, because I was gonna walk to get her today, and then the person I live with, she passed me as I was walking, and she was like, "Just get in the car, we'll go get Ari, whatever." But she asked me, she said, "Do you take this same route when you walk to and from the school? And I said, yeah, I always take the same route. Because I watch true crime. I'm a connoisseur of true crime. Okay, I used to have a true crime podcast. Like, true crime is my life or whatever. So I was like, yeah, I always take, the same route or whatever. And like, I made a joke, but I was like, that way if I'm kidnapped, like, you'll know where I was. And she was like, that's not funny. Which, like, I kind of meant it to be funny, but also, like, I was kind of serious,
Mm.
As a connoisseur of true crime, the whole framing someone else for your husband's murder does not usually work for you. Like, usually they figure it out. Unless they're just really stupid, which that also does happen.
To be fair,
But
Millie has proven she's kind of stupid.
right. But I also will say, like, I don't think I have the conscience to kill somebody. Like, I think even if it was, like, truly, like, self-defense, like, it was truly, like, I was in fear for my life, I would fold. I would, like, call 911 and be like, hello, this is what happened. I did it. I understand you're gonna arrest me. Self-defense, like, whatever. But, like, I don't know that I could do it. You know how these people are getting away with murder for, like, 50 years? Couldn't be me. Absolutely not. I would tell somebody. I would be able to keep that to myself.
I mean, I can't keep secrets. This is not like, so it's like think about it. With us buddy reading, that's hard enough for me to
Right?
not just tell you everything I know.
Listen, Ari got Christmas gifts, which I still have to go get. Okay, I'm sorry. It's been a mind whirl over here, but her gifts are safe, so don't worry. I didn't buy. I mean, I didn't buy Ari Christmas gifts this year because I didn't have it. I did buy her a diamond painting pen for Christmas because she had really wanted one, so I did buy her one. But like last year, she only got 2 gifts from me because literally every other gift that she got, I just gave it to her as soon as it came in the house. Like, she literally, like, people think I'm crazy, but she literally gets Christmas all year because I'll just order her things and be like, here you go, Ari. And she's like, oh, is it my birthday? And I'm like, no. Was it meant for your birthday? Yeah. But it's because I can't keep it to myself. I just want to give it to her,
Yeah. I agree. But yeah, so if I murdered somebody, even in self-defense, I'd be like, hey, yeah, it happened. You might want to send someone.
Yeah, no.
I'll be here, no weapon in hand. I will gladly go with you for questioning.
Could you send like a new rookie, kind of cute, like who can we send? What's the lineup look like? But let's just be honest, my mugshot though would not look good. I just know it. I would just never be prepared. And I feel like it'd be like the DMV kind of thing where they just always get the worst shot,
As someone who's had to have their mugshot taken, I will tell you there's like here's the thing. I don't know if this is just a Florida thing, but in the county that I was arrested in, they had like a blotter, right? And it would show you like all of the arrests. And usually this thing, it looked like a magazine. It looked like Esquire. You understand? Like on like the cheap, like newspapery, like yeah. But it was like a magazine. Now these would always sit in like the dodgiest gas stations. Okay, you couldn't buy these like at 7-Eleven. You'd buy them at like the Quick Mart, where like you don't really want to go in there after dark, but after like 9 p.m. it's the only thing open. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The front page of this would be a bunch of female inmates competing for cutest mugshot. And then in the middle, so you'd have all these, it looked like the Brady Bunch, right? So you'd have like the middle picture would be like the winner of that month's cutest mugshot. And then all the runner ups would be like around her. I never made it into that, thank God. But like, what the hell?
Oh my gosh.
Man, could you imagine being like, guess what? I won the cutest mugshot. No, I don't mean to brag, but
not to brag, never made prom queen, but I definitely made cutest mugshot in small town county, Florida.
Yeah. If it makes you guys feel any better, I'll share it here with the people here tonight who are sticking it out. I deny this very openly to everyone I know for the most part. My biological father, I want you guys to know that he is literally featured on Walmart's Dumbest Criminals. I want you guys to know that. So not to brag, but I come from excellent genes.
The credentials that you hold, Katie.
Like,
Yeah.
I just,
Oh my
you know,
gosh.
like some people have rich fathers, you know. Yeah, good times all around.
Yeah.
Can't
My father's done crazy, insane things in his life, and the things he tells me, just like, I'm like, your life is like a TV show. He's like, it's nothing. And mom's like, the things he says, he thinks are just like normal things. And then it's like, the other day he was like, oh yeah, remember time I crashed into a telephone pole 3 times in my life? I'm like, what? Like, we'll talk about that for a little bit. It's just like, I don't think he's like been like officially arrested before, but like, he's done those crazy things.
Tina, write a book. You have an audience. Just change a few things, you know. It'll be like 2 truths and a lie. We'll have to figure out what's real, what's not. We'll never know.
Right.
Just saying. So Anne wanted to know what Tina's channel is. I did put the link. Hopefully that's the correct link. I'm not going to lie to you at this point. I think it is. Oh, thank God.
Yeah.
At this point, it could have been a link to literally anything. And I'd be like, it's a link, guys. Click it. Don't. I don't care.
Yeah.
I posted a link. You're welcome.
Like,
A
you
link,
know,
yeah.
I'd like to say I think I've done all right for not normally being up this late anymore.
You've done great.
Like,
yep.
You know, I'm not to toot my own horn, but
I'm trying to like focus and like actually like I the whole time was like having to zoom in like how much time limit timer, like I couldn't even like see it.
I'm sorry about that. No, if I could make the actual official timer bigger, but nah, man.
No, it's not what I meant. I meant like I'm like so tired that like things are getting blurry. It's not hold up for the fact that I have to read comments for 4 hours, but
so guys, Tina sprints are about to be real unhinged. That's where the real good stuff's gonna be.
And Nicole's gonna join us, I think, too. So
yeah,
it's gonna be unhinged triplets over here.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so I'm skipping a few things that are not relevant. But yeah, now I need to look up this book Wolf because Anne misread what was happening before. And so like now I need to read this book for, you know, science purposes. Why not? Good night, Coda. Thanks for hanging out. I'm sure you are gone, but I'm still saying goodbye. Nicole said, I got to chapter 16 today of How to Sell a Haunted House.
I really hope she's loving this book. I gave it 5 stars.
Yay.
Yeah.
See, Neva, it makes me happy because I feel like you read so many books that you just love. Like I feel like it's very unlike you to be like, I hated that book. I haven't heard it yet. So
it's mostly because I actually have to figure out how I'm going to include DNFs because I did DNF 1 book this month. Because I didn't hate it. That's the thing. Like, even when I DNF, I usually don't hate the book.
Can we know what it is?
Yes.
Yeah. So Kelsey, Rainey, and I were supposed to buddy read Never by Jessa Hastings.
Oh, sure.
And Kelsey and Rainey never started it, as far as I know. Because she didn't realize that we were starting, so she was reading Magnolia Parks a long way home. Kelsey and I both ended up DNFing it. I think Kelsey may have made it a bit farther than I did. I was just kind of bored. I didn't hate it. I just didn't care, I guess. I don't tend to talk about books that I dislike. So this is why I don't make like a worst and best books of the year video. If people like really wanted one, I would make one. Like even now, like if somebody said like we want your worst and best books of 2023, like I would make one if you wanted it. I tend to DNF books before I hate them.
Yeah.
So if I'm not vibing with a book, I mean, I guess like Happy Place would be on like my worst books of 2023, just because like I was so hype for that book. Like it was a highly anticipated book for me, and then it fell really short. But even that book, I gave 3 stars. You know, so I think the reason people don't hear about it is because I just don't talk about them. honestly. And a lot of times, like, really anything can make me DNF a book. Not understanding what's going on for the first 20 pages can make me be like, okay, this is not the book for me. Like, I'm going to DNF, which happened with a book last year. It feeling like it's just dragging on and I'm not getting anywhere can make me DNF a book. So I don't have to like hate a book to DNF it. You know what I mean? Like, I think I will make a graphic of like best and worst books of all time, because Harry Potter and the Cursed Child is going on the worst books of all time. It's like the only, I think it was the first book I ever gave 1 star. And I gave it 1 star in 2021. I read it in less than 24 hours. It's a play, so like it didn't take that long to read.
Yeah.
But I read it in less than 24 hours, and I felt like it took me a week to read it. Like, I lost all concept of time.
See, I did self-care. I didn't even pick it up because I was just like, you know what? Let's just let some things lie.
Truly, that is self-care. Don't pick it up.
Yeah. I've never really heard a good thing ever. So I just was like, you know.
Well, and then She Who Must Not Be Named, right? The author tried to come out and say that it was canon, and I was like, there's no way. There's no way. Because in order for Cursed Child to be canon, you have to unravel basically everything that we read in the first 7 books. Like, you have to unravel literally all of the character development and everything that you love about our main characters.
To be fair, I feel like she just likes to hear herself talk. Like, she just wants to be included in literally everything.
Well, she came out in, I think it was 2020, and said that it was canon. And her controversy happened in 2019. So I feel like she was trying to be relevant. By saying, like, hey, I have this play that's out. It's also canon. And I was like, there's no way, ma'am.
Yeah. To be fair, she loves her.
Oh, sorry.
No. Oh, no, you're fine. You can speak literally. Do it.
Did it come out in 2020? Like, did it come out the year that she, said that? Because I don't.
Let me look for you. Let me Google.
I feel like it was earlier than that. But to be fair, I feel like JK loves her like plot holes because she constantly talks about stuff, and then it's like, but ma'am, that makes no sense. And she's like, don't care.
So Cursed Child was actually released on Harry Potter's birthday in 2016.
Oh, okay.
So if you don't know what Harry Potter's birthday is, it's July 31st. You're welcome. July 31st. It's marked in my calendar. I'm not going to lie to you. Like, with a little, like, Harry Potter sticker, and it says Harry Potter's birthday. Yeah. Leave me alone. Judge me if you want. So it came out in 2016, but she came out, I believe, in 2020 saying that it was canon. And I feel like she did that because she knew that she was under fire in 2019.
Yeah. Whatever. Finished my book and started Ranger's Apprentice, The Icebound Land by John Flanagan. Read 2 chapters. Nicely done. It's nice to see people are being productive, in the midst of us. I did good. Allie's writing style is so fun, relevant, and I absolutely love how she intertwines popular terms in her writing. Literally feels like you're sitting on a bed with your best friend. I do love Check and Mate. I hope you're loving all the chess elements as well, because
this almost makes me want to read this book. Just to try
it. YA book, but I'm gonna say her YA book, it reads more
adult, right?
Not adult, but like there are just things in it where you're like, this isn't completely YA. It's not bad, but there were moments where I'm like, this is questionable. But to be fair, kids nowadays are questionable, so fair, valid.
Yeah.
That's really sweet. I just don't know what I said that what we said that was really sweet, but
no idea.
But yes, perfect.
Maybe the diamond painting thing.
Oh yeah, that would make sense.
Well, that could be.
It is sweet. And the idea that you have is sweet too. Got to 23% in my next audiobook, Those Who Walk Away by Patricia Highsmith. Words. Okay. The main character in my book just escaped from a Venice canal after his former father-in-law tried to murder him and probably thinks he succeeded. Murder. Everything's about murder, you guys.
Right.
Yeah. Listen, Nicole, it is what it is, like I got what I got. To be fair, what's funny, another little secret, and then I swear we're going to keep reading because we have 10 minutes to transition. So like there was a line of candidates of who could have been my father. There were like 4 guys who took a DNA test, and I just had to get the winner. You know, like I just had to get like the most
top-notch one.
Yeah, the one that was like, ew, children, ew, no, ew, pregnant women, ew, no. Because, like, so the reason I say that I'm one of 8 kids is because, like, so I'm the only child of my parents, of like them two. But then my dad also got 3 other women pregnant at the same time as my mom. So,
See, I'm the oldest of 11,
oh my gosh, yeah.
but I'm
Whoa.
the only
Okay.
one that came from the 2 of them together.
Ah,
And then they each had 5 other kids. Because clearly they didn't learn like how this happens. Ridiculous.
Yeah.
yeah.
My I have a half brother, so my dad had a child when he was 17 and then met my mom. And so like me and my 3 other siblings are like all same
Well,
parents.
see, and it's
This
funny
is
to
not
me.
as crazy. I always thought that was crazy.
It's so funny to me because, like, my biological parents hate each other, which my mom is deceased now, but like, they hated each other my whole life. Okay. And then I got arrested and they felt like they needed to talk to each other, which, for what? Like, okay. But here's the thing, they are like mirror images of each other. Okay. They're both narcissists. Okay. Okay. Um, they both had 5 children. Well, 6 children, really, right? With 3 different people. So, like, my mom had me, like, my mom and my dad had me, right? And then my mom had my sister directly under me with a different man. And then the 4 younger kids are my stepdad's children. Yeah? Yeah. Okay. Then you have my dad had me with my mom, obviously. And then he had, there's 2 boys under me that he had with his 3rd wife. No, his 2nd wife. I'm sorry, with his 2nd wife, because he wasn't married to my mom. So he like married this one lady named Kim. She's a crazy person, and then she like reached out to me like years ago on Facebook, and I was like, I don't know you, ma'am. And she was like, I have pictures of you at my house, and I was like,
Oh,
creepy.
Okay.
So he had my 2 brothers with his 3rd wife, or 2nd wife, sorry, his 2nd wife, or maybe she was his 1st wife, I don't know, but with one of the wives, okay? And then he had my younger 2, no, then somewhere in there, he had my sister, who we're not actually sure is my sister, but we just assume she is, I don't know. He claims he took a DNA test, and it came back inconclusive. Okay. He had her with some lady that he met at the Minneapolis or the Minnesota Ren Fair one year. What a freaking crazy person. Also, I need to go to the Minnesota Ren Fair. I just need to find people that want to go with me because, like, I have not been in years. Anyway, then he had the younger 2 kids with his now wife, which is my stepmom. So y'all are the same person, you know? It's just weird.
oh, families. Oh, you know.
Don't we love them?
I mean, they make great stories. Emily, yes, if you're leaving, goodbye. Otherwise, guys, we're getting ready real soon to go over to Tina's channel. I'm almost done. Isn't there another? There is another part coming. It's happening real soon. We did
There's
it.
3 more parts.
Yes, we're going until 4 p.m. EST. So I literally dozed off reading Harry Potter and the Cursed Child. I had high expectations on that book after the whole Harry Potter series. Yeah, and I mean, to be fair, that's what she does.
The only thing I can say is thank God that I borrowed this book off Libby. It was one of the first books that I ever borrowed off Libby, like on my Kindle. Because if I had bought it, I would have thrown it and then burned it. And I don't burn books, but like I would have burned that book.
Yeah. I mean, listen.
Fair.
49% of ruthless vows. My family is similar. There are 11 kids in total in my family, 5 of which are blood relatives of mine and 3 different women. I have never seen my youngest half sister even a picture. I feel the same way. I have siblings I don't know, but that's because some of my siblings went into foster care. Some of my siblings don't know I exist because like my dad's not a, it doesn't matter. We're not getting to this. But yeah, totally vibe with you, Jamie. We can chat about it anytime you want.
I would also like to say that I don't judge my parents for having 5 children with 3 different people. I had 4 children with 3 different people, so like I don't judge them. I'm just saying clearly, like I learned it from somewhere. You know?
Yeah.
It's fine. It's fine.
Yep, there's no, I mean, listen, my mom was 15 when she made her decisions. You know what I mean? So, like, she was a child.
Yeah,
So,
my mom was
Yeah.
16, so and my dad was 19, so
yeah. So, I mean,
it
all
is
we
what
can
it
do
is.
is try and do better and learn from the mistake, like the choices of people before us. But, I mean,
Yeah.
I like to think that everything that happens to us is for a reason and for a purpose. So, whether or not it makes sense at the time, it doesn't have to be relevant. So,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
all right, we're like, I have to speed through this because then we're gonna say goodbye so fast. Thank you for all this, all of these sprints. Help me be productive. Yay! Goodbye, Allie. Thanks so much for hanging out. Yeah, that seems to be the vibe. I can't relate, but I'm sure I would hate it if I read it. Bought the Cursed Child book, donated it real quick. I love that for you. Unrelated, but my friend sent me a link to your stream, although he's sleeping right now due to interesting. I need to know about who this friend is. So, okay. But guys, we did it. We reached the end.
Yes.
Tina's link should be in the top. So we'll
Mhm.
see you all over there. But thanks for hanging out. All
All right.
right, we're going to go. Bye.
Bye.